Hey guys, so we have the data download for the new Turles and Super Saiyan Goku here. On the list, so Renzi did mention that Turles was missing a few assets, so I don't think he's going to have an image here. It's going to be blank, but this is Turles. I mean, they're not super high up here, but they're not like low down here. So like when PyCon released, like he's like literally like, where is he? He's like all the way down here. Like that's really, really bad. So in terms of stats, these guys are up here. That's fine. That's completely fine. I have Super Saiyan 4 Goku pulled up as a reference as usual. We can look at his stats. And I guess we can go ahead and look at... I'm going to look at Goku first and we can go to Turles next. So Super Saiyan Goku, he is a melee type, which is what we expected based off of his special move being a dashing forward sort of charging attack. He does have 100 and this is at 6-star, 205,000 strike attack, and then I think this is actually pretty respectable. Defense is 140, 144. His Goku's at 136, 137. Then his blast is 185. So yeah, he's not terrible blast attack, which is nice because he's more balanced. Health is 1.93 and Goku's is 2.03. So this guy has better stats overall. Main ability is Let's End This. Draw a special move arts card next, so blue card. Restores own ki by 50, that's good. And then increases own arts card draw by 2 levels for 10 timer counts. That reminds me a lot of Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, the LF one. Because the LF Vegeta, I'm pretty sure he does both of these things, right? He restores own ki by 50. Your reserve card draws about 2 levels, and he also draws, but he draws an ult instead of a special move. I'm actually going to check that, because it sounds extremely similar. Yeah, look at this. It's literally the exact same main ability, except instead of drawing the ult, this guy draws a special move. So, pretty similar. Requirements of 20 timer counts, and then this one's 25. So, literally like almost exactly the same unique ability. Alright, so you guys couldn't tell, the young Napa event is returning, which is cool. Supreme Warrior is the first unique, plus 30% to damage inflicted against tag regeneration, which is good, cannot be cancelled. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. So again, by the way, even though he's green, him doing this extra damage might be useful in terms of dealing with Zamasu, even though he's purple, Merge Zamasu. We'll see how much that actually comes into play. Like, it might just be the fact that this guy just can't damage Merge Zamasu anyway, but, I mean, this is going to help at least a little bit. Draws a Strike Arts card next. That's good already. 40% of damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. Reduce damage received by 30%. Okay, so that's good. You can use him as a pseudo cover cut unit. For Saiyans, that's pretty good. Minus 15 to special move arts cost for 20 timer counts. Okay, so he's automatically going to have a 35 costing blue card for 20 counts, which is a lot. 20 counts, like, actually, you're really not going to have characters switched in that often for over 20 timer counts. So I think that's fair. It's good. If they're going to put a restriction on 20 counts, it's fine, I think. Next unique is Collision Force. Applies the following effects to self after enemy attack is over. Restores ki by 25, and then plus 50% to strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, and then reduces damage received by 30% for 10 timer counts. Cannot be stacked. Restores own health by 30% if own remaining health is 50% or below after enemy attack is over. Okay. So honestly, just based on the fact that his defenses aren't the worst, and he has multiple instances where you can actually get cover cut, honestly, he kind of reminds me of this Goku a little bit, because this guy gets like 35%, I believe. Yeah, for 15 counts. This guy, he seems like he actually could take a hit. I mean, him being green is good because tanking, strikes from Vegito Blue is always going to be important in this meta, and probably like 4 metas moving forward. But I kind of like where this guy's going. He's not super busted. Oh, what is this? Oh yeah, he has the wait a second. 20% to special move damage inflicted for 15 timer counts upon activation. Oh. Okay. So when they were talking about the strike cards, or the strike attacks, boosting the special move, they were talking about this. He has a special strike card. Whew. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of Kefla. Obviously, Kefla's is better, just because it's all damage, right? Or strike damage for 10 counts. I mean, look, this is going to hit super hard. if you can rack up a bunch of strike cards, use like 4, and then use a special move, like that's gonna just be insane. The special move itself does massive damage, already really good. Gain attribute upgrade, minus 100% to sustain damage cut, which is nice, and then it also has blast armor, so... You know, the enemy... Again, this is what I was talking about earlier. The enemy changes into Merge Zamasu. I mean, if you're coming off of a long combo, you have some of these stacked up, you have the extra damage done to regen, and you're penetrating through the sustained damage cut. I mean, this guy can do a sizable amount of damage to purple Merge Zamasu, I think. We'll see. And then this green card is Defiant Spirit, which is plus 20% to own strike damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, and then changes own blast arts cards to strike cards, which is very good because that will directly synergize up with this. So honestly, this guy looks pretty good to me. And then as we saw with on the Twitter yesterday, he does. I think this has to be the healing one, right? Yeah, the heart icon. Not sure why it's popping up down there, but. A strike card that restores own health by 5%. Okay, well, that's quite a bit of healing, actually. 5% is pretty good. I don't know, I kind of like that. So he buffs movie, strike attack, and then I assume strike attack and defense. Oh, and Saiyan. 30%. And then 35 at 14. Okay, this guy seems really good. I kind of like where this guy's going. The only thing is, like, you kind of want him to get hit, I guess, to activate the second unique, right? I don't know how much it's going to actually play into his kit at all. We'll have to see how well he can actually take damage. I assume he's going to take okay damage. I mean, you maybe want to start with this guy in terms of switching him into a combo. Maybe Vegeta Blue's comboing you a bajillion times, and you just throw this guy in, and he can tank the damage pretty well. The only problem with that is if they have a Rising Rush, which is like the main issue. But other than that, I kind of like where this guy is. He's not like the craziest unit ever, but he seems pretty solid. Alright, so next we have Turles. He's yellow. He is a range type, so he doesn't want to be using primarily blast attacks. Strike attack is 193, blast is 212, which seems high. So Goku's is 209, yeah. And then 136, 137. 138, 140. So honestly, he seems like a pretty balanced unit. Strike attack isn't super low, but it definitely is significantly lower than his blast attack. So gonna want to prioritize blast with this guy, which is, I don't know, because again, movies. Take a look at the tag here just by itself. And Bojack, Gohan, Janemba, those are all strike-based characters. Even this cooler strike-based. This Goku also, who literally is coming out at the same time, is strike-based. This Broly, if you have him Zenkai, he's strike-based. This Broly and Chilai is strike-based. So I would say like 90% of this team is strike-based. So the fact that they made this guy blast-based, he's going to have to do a lot in order to be like a top-tier unit or a top-tier option for this team, just before even looking at his kit. All right. So main ability is, you thought I was strong before, watch this. Draw the Ultimate Arts card, Sudden Storm next, restores own health by 30%, and ki by 30, and reduces enemy ki by 40. Okay. Restoring health by 30% is actually pretty powerful. Unique ability, yeah, Napa thing, okay. The Omnipresent Watcher. Shortens allies' substitution counts by 1 when this character enters the battlefield. So if you're switching out into this guy, the character you just switched out with is going to start at 9 counts instead of 10. That's pretty cool. I don't know if 1... Is 1 even like a good enough... I don't know, maybe 2 would have been better. I don't know. I mean, obviously 2 would have been better, but is 2 like... Is shortening it by 2, is that too good? I don't know. Applies the following effects to allies other than this character from battle start for 60 counts. 25% of damage, and then 40% of ki recovery. Okay, so he's kind of like a pseudo-support unit. So, other than this character for 60 counts. Movies. So, I mean, this guy, like, people don't understand how good this guy is at Zenkai 7. I don't have him at Zenkai 7, but I've seen people use him. Like, he can get crazy, and him with that bonus... I mean, I think that can actually be a pretty insane combo. And also the movies team didn't really have like a super powerful support unit, so that's pretty cool. World-Eating Saiyan. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. 30% damage inflicted. Okay, it's kind of a little bit low of a buff, but whatever. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade. 20% of damage received for 20 counts. That's pretty good because it's all enemies. And then... Applies the following effects to self every time when faced with enemy. So again, this is the same wording as this Goku. You know, restores ki by 30 every time when faced with enemy. So this means when the enemy switches out into a new character. Randomly draws 1 new card when you have 3 or fewer cards, and -3 to strike and blast arts cost for 10 timer counts. Is that good? I mean, it's definitely not terrible. I think I'd rather just I think I'd rather just have like get 30 key, honestly. I think I'd rather just have get 30 key. This could be good though, the drawing 1 card, because if you have 3 or fewer cards, I mean that's literally going to be any possible time they cover change. So every time an enemy cover changes, you're guaranteed drawing at least 1 card. Yeah, you're drawing 1 card from that. I don't know. I think I still prefer the key recover, the 30 key with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but this is not a bad it's not a bad thing to have there. Regular strike, regular blast. Special move is the Calamity Blaster. Deals major impact damage and inflicts enemy attack downgrade -80% to key recovery. That's very annoying. Special skill is Force Explosion. It increases own arts card draw speed by 1 level. Inflicts enemy attack downgrade +5 to substitution count, which is annoying. And then it's comboable into strike, blast, special arts, special moves, and ultimates. So he does have an ultimate as well. Deals massive explode damage. Applies the following effects to self upon activation. And this is what we saw in the Twitter preview yesterday, which actually seems pretty ridiculous because these are permanent buffs. 70% damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. By the way, this being uncancelable is really big because if you spend like the first portion, by the way, when is this activatable? 25. That's kind of annoying. If you spend like the first portion of the battle trying to get this active and you do it and you're like, okay, now I can actually finally play the game, and then Vegeta Blue comes in and he just cancels your buffs, that's really annoying. So I'm glad they made this non-cancelable. Reduces damage speed by 20%, 70% to key recovery, and then he gains attribute upgrade -30% to enemies sustained damage cut. So probably the most powerful ultimate effect in the game, if not the most powerful ultimate in the game, just straight up, just because of the fact these are permanent and they can't be canceled. So it's pretty good. Now the only reason why I checked this is because 25 counts to draw the ultimate. You want to get this out pretty much ASAP. You don't want to dilly-dally and, waiting, saving it for a finishing blow. No, you want to make use of this immediately so you can get the most value out of these effects. Hold a strike, hold a blast. He buffs movies, blast attack, and powerful opponent. Okay, there we go. Finally, we're starting to build this tag out. Yeah, okay, so he's just buffing those two, huh? So movies blast and powerful opponent strike attack, which is actually not bad for movies because movies, this guy's on powerful opponent, Cooler's on powerful opponent. I think Bojack is on powerful opponent as well. Yeah, so a lot of these, top tier movies characters, is he on powerful opponent? No. A lot of these top tier movie characters, they're on powerful opponent, so they're mostly going to be getting double buffs. Essentially just it's a double offense buff. So kind of like that actually. Starting to build up the powerful opponent tag. Now we have Zamasu buffing it, now we have Turles. So okay. I don't think Turles, it's gonna be hard to judge him just because we haven't had a unit where, their main objective is to first activate this. And then they're coming in, they're like, okay, now I can actually start playing the game. And this, you can start making use of these effects, card draw speed. You can make enemies switch out, draw cards. He seems pretty good. This is interesting. I don't know how to judge this right now. I would say it's going to be pretty difficult to actually evaluate how good that is because it's going to be not a very tangible thing that you're going to be like, oh yeah, this one substitution count saved me or something. I don't really know if you're going to run into too many of those situations, but it seems like a pretty cool effect. I'm glad they're experimenting with things like this. Okay, let's move on to the banner. I haven't actually looked at the banner yet. I assume they're going to be bringing back Broly and Chilai. Other characters I want to see, the blue Saiyan Saga support Goku has never been back either. Raditz has never been back. I don't know. Any of those characters I would like to see on here. So here we go. Obviously Goku, Turles, Tapion, and Raditz. There we go. Yellow Bardock, Yellow Gohan's pretty good. Trunks and Metal Cooler. Broly and this Vegeta. Oh. Where's Broly? Broly and Chilai? Like, do they They exist. They've never been back, by the way. Still. It's been almost 5 months since Broly and Chile came out. They have never returned. At least Raditz is here. They really should have just replaced this Vegeta or this Broly with the Blue Saiyan Saga Goku. At that point, I would have said this banner is actually pretty good. Because this Gohan's still good. This guy's a good movie bench. This guy's just a solid Saiyan support / tank unit. This guy's still pretty good. Metal Cooler is like not the best. This guy's obviously a good Saiyan supporting unit, but this banner needs like one more really good slot for me to consider this a good banner. This is a pretty easy skip for most players. I mean, I wouldn't say Turles and this Goku are like, you know, the most hype units ever, but I would say this is a skip. Yeah, I know I say skip a lot, but to be honest, the past 3 banners have all been pretty terrible. So that's why I'm saying skip. So that's my opinion on this banner. We do have 2 events returning. We have the Napa event returning, which makes sense because, you know, Vegeta Zenkai has a lot to do with Napa. Finally, it's been way too long since this came out. And by the way, this is the first time this event is actually returning. This hasn't come back once. This is the first time. I like how they make the 2 new units the best ones for the Z power, and then they made LF Goten the best one for screws. Thanks a lot. But yeah, it looks like you're going to be able to get them up to 14 stars, which is to be expected, so that's pretty cool. Then we have this event, the Forbidden Power Turles. Forbidden Power. Play every day to upgrade Turles. Looks like you can upgrade the Purple Turles and the Spirit Bomb Goku. I don't really know if anybody cares about them, because they suck. Looks like you can also get multi-Z power and crystals. Just different battles here. They're these Fruit of the Tree of Might medals or coins. So I guess there's going to be a new exchange shop for those. There's a lot of battles here, wow. Yeah, I guess there's going to be missions attached to this, or, you know, play for this once a day. Then you get rewards, I guess. I don't know. That's pretty much all we have. Let me know what you guys think about Turles and Goku. It's hard to judge them. I think Goku's pretty good. But the fact is we just got 2 green Gokus, like, in a month and a half. So, another green Goku, I guess, sure. Turles, he seems pretty good for movies, but again, my only issue is that he's blast-oriented and the entire team is strike, so we'll see if he ends up fitting well. Going to be streaming my summons when the banners go live, so hope to see you all then. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you all in the next one.